So today I want to talk about 5 things I wish I knew before I went to UC Berkeley. So number one is I really wish I had known kind of what major I wanted. Now, coming out of high school, obviously, like this is not something that most people are going to be aware of, or even coming out of community college. So I just wish I had done more research and kind of known exactly, let's say, like which direction I want my career to go into, which, even just what I'm interested in. Because I remember as I entered Berkeley, I had so many interests. And it was something where I was like, okay, well, I have some course that I can take into Berkeley and get credit for. But like, I was just kind of going based off that. So it's like, oh, I took some anthropology class like at the community college while I was in high school, right? And so I can add that to my course list at Berkeley. And I was like, oh, maybe I should major in anthropology. Wasn't that interested in anthropology. Like I have a grandmother who was an anthropologist, but it wasn't really something that was that I was interested in. And so it just really like try to find your interest while you're in high school. Try to see what you really want. Maybe don't listen to just what your parents want, because for me it was like, oh, my grandmother did anthropology. Okay, I'm gonna take this little class in high school, okay? Oh, my mom said, hey, maybe you should be a lawyer. And so I was like, oh, I'll be a lawyer, right? And oh, I can major in anthropology and then I can go to law school. Great, right? No, I don't want to go to law school anymore. And so it's like, what do I do now? I didn't major in anthropology, but it was like midway through college, I was like, oh shit, I love econ. I want to major in economics, but I was like, oh, I don't have a bunch of the classes. I'll have to graduate in like 5 or 6 years. So then I was like, I'll major in political economy, right? And then I like got into the classes and I was like, I'm not that interested in this. And then I realized, oh, maybe I can use some of my other courses from anthropology and some courses that I took in global studies and then combine everything and my econ courses, because I took some econ courses. And I was like, okay, I can major in global studies focusing on economic development. That was something I was interested in. But I ended up having to take an extra semester. Sorry, I'm giving you my whole life story. My point is, I just wish I had planned more ahead of time and kind of figured out what I wanted. Okay, number 2 is I really wish I had joined a lot of clubs. And okay, maybe not like a ton, but like things that could really like help me find what my interests were. Kind of falls back into that first question. I wish I had kind of gotten more involved in things that were out of my comfort zone, because right off the bat, like I'd been ballet for 15 years, right? So as I entered Berkeley, I was like, oh, I'll join a ballet club, which was great. I met some great people, but also like, I wish I'd joined maybe, like I was also interested in like robotics, right? I thought that was super interesting. And while I wasn't like an engineering major or anything, I was like, okay, well, I could have totally like gotten involved in something like that, learned a little bit about it, or maybe Model UN, although I did do Model UN before, but and I wish I had kind of stepped out of my comfort zone and done some like different things, or maybe get more involved in a specific club. Like I did get like on the board for a few clubs, not board, what is it called? The head of the clubs. I guess it's like a board, but yeah, just get more involved. That was something I wish I'd done. Like in the last point, I was kind of saying more how I wish I got involved in my interests, right? And kind of known to branch out. But now in this one, I want to say that like to make friends, I wish I'd known that I should be more simultaneously, while being involved in many clubs or like trying out many different clubs, also like finding the ones that are really like good for me, or the ones that I really feel like I fit in, and going hard with those ones and going to all the events and like really meeting everyone and getting to know everyone, because it was like I kind of half-assed it. So like some of the ones that I would be kind of interested in, I'd go check it out, and then it was like, I'd occasionally show up, but it was like I didn't really get to know people. There was always like, oh, I have like a homework assignment, or oh, I have a test, and I kind of, you meet friends by being around people. And so I wish I had known that I should like just get more heavily involved in like a few specific clubs that I was, that I narrowed down. Yeah. And also this also kind of ties into like a sorority or a fraternity, Now, I do think that like being in a sorority is a really great experience for getting to know people at Berkeley, because like when I joined a sorority, I made some of my closest friends, but also there's a lot of really mean people, and they're snobby and they're rich and they just look down on you for nothing. And so that's very problematic, and there's like a big hierarchy in the sororities and frats. Oh god, I'm like scratching. And yeah, again, very problematic. And if as a guy, do not recommend joining a frat, so maybe don't do that. But as a girl, sororities are pretty fun. Had some of my best and worst experiences going to frat parties, so I don't know about that. But like the actual sorority part, I do recommend it. I think it's a great experience. And you don't get to know anyone as well as you get to know someone if you're living in the same house with them, being in the same sorority with them. Just like you feel like you have a smaller community. So I do recommend that, although it is a little controversial. So yeah, I don't know how to put that one out there. Or would be, I wish I had known to like just talk to my professors more. And like before I went to Berkeley, like I was at community college when I was in high school, and it was kind of like, oh, like small classes, like it's totally fine. Like I don't know, for some reason it felt like it didn't really matter if I talked to my teachers, so I would just talk to them, you know, and I would just act like they were kind of like a TA or something. And so I got to know a ton of them. They gave me great recommendations. It was really great, right? But once I got to Berkeley, it was terrifying. These are people who had won like Nobel Prizes. They had won, I had a teacher who won the Vega Award for geography. They just like, they're famous, you know, and it's terrifying. And as a student, like I would look at them and be like, oh my God, like they're gonna think I'm stupid. Like all my questions are dumb, you know? And I just really wish that I hadn't let that deter me, because I definitely did in some cases. Five, my final recommendation for my younger self would be remember school. Like remember to focus on your studies, because I don't know if this is a problem for a lot of students, like especially at Berkeley, because I feel like we're all a bunch of nerds. But for me, it was like, oh, I study really hard, right? And then I get into Berkeley, and then, oh my God, I'm away from my parents. I go to parties. I have a great time. And then, oh shit, all my classes are super freaking hard. And so that was something that I kind of struggled with. It was just like, you know, I'd party on Thursday, party on a Friday, party on a Saturday, and then, oh yeah, I can study on Sunday, but no, you're super freaking tired like all day. And then you have a bunch of classes set on Monday with like 500 pages of reading and a bunch of problem sets, and you're sitting there and you're like, what have I done? So, yeah, just remember to study. But again, I do think there's a happy medium. There's so many times where I would be like, oh, I can't go to this for 2 weeks. Like I can't do anything for 2 weeks because I have a midterm. And okay, well that kind of like stops, you know, for me it was like either, oh, party all the time or study all the time. And I do think there should be like a happy medium, like maybe a specific amount of time during the week to study, and then get all of your studies done during the week. And then on the weekends, like take some time off, which I totally understand. You can't do that if you're like eeks or something, you know? But for me, I could do that. And I feel like I had friends who were like econ and stuff, and they could do that. So just good time management. I wish I had really learned how to hone in my time management before I got into Berkeley. So I think that's it. I'm trying to think, do I have any other tips? I don't know, just network. I think a lot of the people I met at Berkeley have really like enriched my life. So and I still keep in touch with them now, even though I'm graduated. So yeah, I think you should network and make a lot of friends, and just really cherish the time that you're there, because you're only in college for a short amount of time, and then you're out in the big wide world. And even though I'm going to graduate school, it's not the same, you know? So yeah. Anyway, if you have any questions or any recommendations for some other videos I should make about Berkeley, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.